really don't care about what they were saying, because like obsessing over one aspect,
You gonna
like
say something, Dominic?
that's not the whole of your being.
Good
There's more to you.
evening, UN Space Force Squadron. This is your welcome to Watan on your werewolf. We are talking about marketing and advertising and what to do if you're a creator or a creative that wants to advertise yourself, be it you want to just get exposure or you want to sell a product or what to do when you get yourself ready for your future customers, who you're marketing to, who you want to market to, who you want to come to buy your product.
Greetings, everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
All right, so
He went mute. I didn't want to. I wanted to see. Want us to start the. We had a good. That was had a good conflab going on there in the green room there, Eloise.
yeah.
Oh, please, by all means.
Damn.
Continue.
Well,
All right, so who
I
wants
don't
to
know.
go first?
Well, I don't
You
know.
have failed me.
I'm
Turn your
sorry,
badge.
Wolf. Like I was on a roll here, and then you just suddenly went live, and I'm just like, shit. I don't know what I was saying.
Oh, she gets stage fright. Maybe I should
Well,
juke her up a bit, like this morning.
No, it's like you're standing outside the spotlight, and then suddenly someone turns on the light, and the spotlight is aiming at you.
Yeah, you need some encouragement. There you go.
I was going to tell you, Eloise, you are
That's not
talking.
encouraging. It's distracting.
It's the whole point. It's advertising.
Well, we were actually talking about that
Oh,
before we went live. Well, before we went live for the group there, in our own little conflab, we were talking about advertising. And one of the things I brought up, I don't know if anybody watched Mad Men when it's streaming now, but when it had network, when it's on AMC, and the character of Don Draper. Now, Don Draper was an advertising man. He was head of advertising agency. So occasionally he would sell his pitches. But when he pitched an item or an account, or to get an account from an advertiser, he and his team, or he would put a team together, and they would come up with how to sell things from ketchup to stockings to soup. And when Don Draper did his pitch, Don Draper would speak to his clients like he was seducing everybody in the room. John Hamm played him, and John Hamm had this voice, and he would come in, and it was like he was seducing you with his advertisement. And I would watch it. I'm like, boy, if you showed me bath water, I would buy it, Don Draper, because that was his style. He did it in a seductive way. And it's interesting because the show takes place in the 1960s, when everything was still sort of semi-conservative, but everything was more off screen, not on screen or in front. But that is how he would sell his pictures to get advertising accounts. He did it in a sexy, seductive way. And like I said, he would advertise. If you ever get a chance to watch Mad Men, it is streaming. I think it's on Amazon Prime. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And in fact, I might post some in the MeWe of one of his pictures. And that was his style. Now, that may not work with you, whatever it is you want to pitch or you're talking to, but that is the way he would always do it. He would seduce everybody in the room to get them to buy the product, or to give his company their account to make commercials for the product. So in that sense, you have to think of your style of pitching. We were talking about how um, are you charismatic? Do you have a certain charm? Because if you're going to pitch something, whether you have a comic book or a novel, you have to have a certain love, charm, or charisma to sell what it is you want to advertise. You really have to have a passion for what you are trying to sell, because you're going to be sitting in a room with people who probably never read a comic book, don't like comic books, have no idea how fantasy or anime works. They're just there to make some money. So you have got to do everything you can to get them excited about it. and to sell it
I
to them.
mean, that's also why like the independent route is better. Like depending on if you actually know how to promote yourself and get yourself out there.
Hi,
But
I'm
even
Tara, and I love to but I hate my period.
What does that got to do with what does that got
I
to
don't
do?
know,
What does that got to do with that?
it's memorable.
She's advertising how to
It's
fuck and how to have a good period. Apparently,
I
yeah,
always
there's
I thought it was too much, but I guess that's another route. Is
being bombastic can sometimes make you memorable. Like understanding how memes work and being mimetic and figuring out how to get things into like the public consciousness. Because like I think a lot of people who've been on the internet long enough have encountered that ad.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, back in the day, you're right. I thought it was a little bit too much information, but like you said, you don't forget it. So,
Wow, baby, me so horny. Me so horny. Me love you long time.
oh no, I've gotten to wolf it.
We've reached the dark side.
Yes, you know what I said about Don Draper seducing them. I didn't really figure clearly, but he wouldn't seduce them, but he
something
just
that we talked in the green room about, like when Tweldy said to call him Albert, and I was like Prince Albert of Nigeria, and then
Albert,
yeah,
Jamie Foxx.
which
Yes.
like this conversation suddenly went to like con artists, and I brought up that the Arabian prince in Florida who actually the Arabian prince who settled in Florida and just conned a bunch of millionaires and billionaires there. And it turns out that he was actually from Colombia. And the reason why he was caught is because he conned a bunch of people into like investing into his non-existent businesses instead of, like all the stuff he did try to do business wise, it all failed, and people just caught on to the fact that he wasn't actually a Saudi prince.
well,
And he was arrested for it. So I was like, maybe these con men should just like find legitimate work with like with businesses and stuff, because like they're able to like get people's money by being very charismatic. So I don't know, maybe looking into like how con men like how they convince people, like just studying that could be of use. I'm not saying to like scam people. Definitely don't do that, because if you want to run a business, you want to make sure that your products are good and things like that, especially in like the long term. Because the reason these con artists fail is because they don't know, they don't have any business smart, and that's how they get caught in the end.
well, yeah, we've seen many movies. I used to watch a TV show called Leverage. Was about a man who puts together a team of con artists in order to keep them out of jail. So the job was, well, if you don't want to go to jail, you've got to use all your con skills for good. And that was another good show. You have to take those skills, use it for good. In other words, we're going to con the criminals. Which is what I loved about the show, that they didn't con good people, they conned bad people. And that's what kept them out of jail. So if you are going on what you said, Eloise, if you are going to market, I do think you have to have a level of some charisma. Let me give you an example. Eloise, you're watching House of the Dragon, right? You're following the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Wait, you're watching it too?
No, I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, but I'm going by what I've heard from people. I do know that Matt Smith is on there. And from what I've heard, everybody
Matt Smith is carrying that show like on his shoulders. Like I only stick around to watch Damon just like mess with everybody's meals. Like just like he's like sticking a middle finger at everybody, and I just absolutely love it because I really like I really hate the faction that I liked in the books because they're the faction that got the most character alterations. So like the unfortunate thing is that he joins that faction in the end. So like,
Well,
yeah.
you're not alone, because my nephew watches the show and he says the only reason he watches it is because of Matt Smith. Now, I know Matt Smith from Doctor Who, but from what he tells me and you're telling me, I said, what's the appeal? He said, Aunt, Matt Smith is just got this charisma that just is through the roof. He has a charm and a charisma that just, it doesn't matter what you put him in, whether the script is good or bad, he is just going to take it 1000%. And from what he tells me about this show, that's what he's been doing. And then what I'm hearing from Eloise, that's what you've been doing, is he's been carrying it. So that's my example about charm and charisma, is that I think if you're going to market yourself, you've got to have a level of charm and charisma. Everybody's muted.
You're the charismatic person of our group.
You're good, Wolf. Why is everybody? Am I echoing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I was saying hi to my parents.
Oh, okay. Well, don't let me interrupt that. Well, I was using him as an example because I saw him, and I'm going to send you the video, Eloise, where he was on the Today Show and he took over the Today Show and he did the weather report.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is, and I agree with him, my nephew, and hearing from you, that kind of charisma is what you have to have. Now, that works for him to market himself as an actor. But I think if you are, I don't know what we're talking about marketing. Are we talking about marketing?
I mean, there's several different.
Are you marketing?
All forms of marketing advertisement. All forms.
I even suggest if you're going to go to advertisement, it wouldn't hurt to take some acting classes or get an acting coach.
No.
And public speaking.
Billboards, signs, window shopping,
Yep.
TV.
I know for at least independent marketing, like indie marketing, where you sell your book or your comic, you have to be able to like market yourself and your skills.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times for like the online indie market, at least from what I've noticed from like watching people like who I'm trying to think, like people from CG and people who are just plain indie, like draw and talk, like they like a lot of people support their products because they want to support the creator, as in they might not really have an interest in the product itself. They might just want to back the creator just to see the creator succeed. So like getting people interested in your success, and you know, people like underdogs and things like that. So getting yourself out there can be really important to like independent stuff. For like company, like
Underdog,
corporates,
grassroots, all that stuff. Just start from the bottom, now we here type of deal.
Yeah, for corporate stuff, it's a lot different. Like you're not only do you have to convince the people who you're trying to market to, but you also have to convince the people the investors and things like that. And because of it being several layers, it can oftentimes leave people like appearing kind of artificial.
Well, true, but let me ask you this. But do you think now, if you're online marketing or social media marketing, you don't talk to people anymore, or you don't
do a big part of like online, I mean, at least for indies, like a big part of it is the interaction with people. Like that's one thing that a lot of indie creators don't understand, is that you need to interact with people. Like you have to talk to your audience. Yeah, but a lot of people are camera shy, and so they steer on the side of caution and just advertise their skills. But because the people who follow you, because of the skill set, don't form a personal connection with you, you're probably like, it's not really a personal one since they know you. It's more like a parasocial relationship because they don't form that sort of bond with you. And it's not they're not following your personal journey. They don't have that type of investment in you. Like, you're probably not going to stick out in the crowd to them because they're already you're already competing with a bunch of people. So like, you know, building like a YouTube channel, interacting with fans and things like that, that can give you the edge you need to build a fan base and a following.
Well, that's the point. The point is that you have to try to stand out. And that's why I said maybe take some acting lessons or having an acting coach, not to become an actor, but to know how to make yourself stand out, because I think that skill is dying a little bit, because that's what I mean. Yeah, I think that skill is dying because the more less and less we stop interacting with each other, you wouldn't know how to go into a room to pitch your idea. Or even if you're doing a pitching by Zoom or like we're doing right here, you have got to find a way to make that personality blast right through that computer screen. You have got to stand out in that room out of 1,000. And that's
Some
why
people settle
just
for the typical thing, living all their lives waiting in the wings. It ain't a question of
here we
if,
go
just
singing.
a matter of time before I move in the front of the line.
It's
Once you
sad
watch
that
it, every
Final
move
isn't
that I
here.
make, you gotta believe that
Louise,
I
he's
got what
singing.
it takes to stand out
Who's up?
above the crowd.
Who's up to
Even
bat?
if I gotta shout out loud, till mine is the only face you'll see. Bitches, y'all better listen to that damn song.
I'm saying, I was telling Eloise, he's singing.
Nah,
Eloise, let him
I'm
finish.
just saying, just to illustrate what the hell I'm talking about. Listen to that damn song. Stop being stop being a motherfucking wallflower. That's what Tevin Cameron trying to sing to you.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm making. I mean, I agree with Eloise, but I think that art wolf is dying. I think because of, do you think maybe, yeah, there are people maybe shy or wallflowers on social media, but I still
Don't
think
be so quick to write off art. It will still be here, no matter how far we're gonna go.
No, I'm not writing it off, but I just mean I still think you need to interact with people, go into a room and sell your idea. That's what I think.
That's the one issue right there that we all pretty much come to know what's really been going on, is that people are too afraid to talk to each other, too afraid to even interact with each other, and we all know it's due to the
Especially
social
in this
media
climate.
barrier. Pandemic made it even worse, where we're completely separate from each other at this point, and talking, let alone touching each other, is now a foreign concept. It's going to become a foreign concept. I mean, look at Demolition Man. They don't even touch hands or shake hands, for that matter.
Somebody brought that movie up when the pandemic hit and stuff about how we're living out Demolition Man. But yeah, I think
it was Critical Drinker.
that's where I heard it from. Okay, you're right, Dominic.
And plus the movie was certainly ahead of its time because it predicted on what pretty much what the current state of culture is at the moment. It's funny yet terrifying at the same time.
You're right, exactly. But now that we're slowly coming out of the pandemic, do you guys think maybe we can try to get back into that interaction again?
Well, let's not try. Just do it.
Yeah. But in order to, I agree with you, to do it, I still figured you got to find a way to shine, no matter what method you use. Don Draper used seduction. Matt Smith uses his charm and charisma. So what other ways that you can use to get the attention and notice?
I've seen YouTubers like Ethan Van Sciver and John Delarose just like be bombastic. Well, more so Ethan, because like the way he sounds like the way the people interact, and it sounds.
And it was awkward for everyone.
The way people interact, essentially, like from EBS, it's bombastic in the way that he sounds like a radio show host. And he's mentioned that I can't remember his name. He used to watch radio from a specific guy. I don't remember who it was. So he kind of channels that radio show host thing into like his streaming when he does things, and that's he goes bombastic. He goes all in, just like putting all his energy into like making it entertaining. Like he focuses on entertaining people while simultaneously advertising what he's been working on. And I know people get on him a lot because he streams a lot, but he's constantly advertising as he streams. And a thing they miss is that a big part of getting the sales numbers that he did was because he was constantly streaming and advertising. You can't get those numbers without constantly being in people's memories. Like, because you know the way YouTube works, you constantly have to make videos and things like that. Even if it's not every day, you at least have to have a schedule for it and follow that schedule and have once you do that, you generate interest because your content is there and people find it. Like they stumble across it when they search things up, and that builds like the algorithm that's used to function on YouTube. And the same thing with streaming, like constantly being in touch with your audience. So people flock over to see what's going on, and that causes people to, you know, just being involved with something and building like a community of sorts. It causes people to fund things. And on the John Delarose case, he's an edgelord. Like I know a lot of people don't like his content, and you know sometimes I don't agree with some of the stuff he does, but like he's an edgelord, and so he constantly has like people he rivals and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a wrestler thing where you have your heel and everything, and that gets people invested. And unfortunately, like I know a lot of people are skeevy about, like, not skeevy, I don't know if that's even the right word, just like hesitant to get into internet drama and stuff like that. But like for John Delarose, like he's into that stuff, just like seeing the weird things that people do on the internet. So because he does that, like that causes people to flock over as well, and it generates interest. And while he's doing those types of streams, people while he's doing those types of streams, he promotes stuff that he's making to people, and people back that as well. And then there's also people like trying to think of who else. Like Young Ripper right now, he has outstripped everybody. Like he's blown the competition away in the sense that a lot of people have backed his comics, and it's because he's been involved in a lot of things. He's like diversified what the content he's made. Essentially, he's made music. He was a commentator. He's also not just a YouTube commentator, but also a political commentator as well on The Blaze. And I'm trying to think of what else. He's been involved in a lot of things. So when he decided to enter the YouTube comic space, that all those people that have been following his journey throughout the different mediums that he's been involved with, they just flocked over to support him.
So let's take Ripper for an example about what is his success. His success was that he had been it for a long time. He built a following. He built a following and a fan base. He knew directly who he was talking to when he marketed the Rippaverse. he didn't market it to a certain group. He said that if you love comic books and telling a good story, you're going to love this.
And
You
he
know.
sets standards. He has a standards that he's gonna stick to, and it's not gonna be like 1 minute it's good, then the next minute it's crap. No, he wants to meet standards, the high standards that the industry used to have.
Plus, he has established time and again that he is a long time comic book nerd, and he shows it.
Yeah, establishing a repertoire with your audience goes a long way as well. Like showing that you know your stuff, not just that you're a fan, but you know, like doing that. And not only that, but he was also humble about it. Like he admits that there are some things he doesn't know, and things like that, and that really caused the audience to trust him. So building audience trust is important.
Plus he understands like wordplay and storytelling. And I was able to listen to his songs like a few times, and he's good with what he does. And when he talks about like the archetypes and tropes like surrounding storytelling in like different genres, like he understands like understands like on how they work, how they're not how they work, how they utilize, but he also explains on why they have endured for centuries.
Right. I agree, Dominic. His passion, the thing is, his passion for comics, the comic storytelling, the world of it, comes through. Like she said, he knows his stuff, and he knows the genre and why it's a hit. But his passion for it comes through, and that's what you have to show. You have to show you have a passion for it, not because it's the in thing, or not because somebody told you. It's because you yourself have a passion for this, and you want to reach out to those who share that same passion. So he knew how to talk to his audience. There was no political fluff. He simply said that if you love comics and you're yearning for the days when it was just about telling a story, this is for you. And that's why he has been successful, for all the reasons that you just said. But also, you have to let your passion show. Don't ever let your passion die down for it. You have to let that shine to the audience, because they're out there. And the good thing is that he knew that there was an audience out there for this, and he was right. But he let that passion show. He didn't tone it down. So whatever it is that
not
you're
only that,
marketing,
but he also had a back catalog. Like he's been involved in other creative projects. And because of this, people are aware that he follows through. He commits to what he sets out to do.
and see, that's what a lot of
In
people
other
are
words,
missing.
he practices what he preaches.
Yeah.
And see, that's what a lot of people are missing. You have to know your stuff, and that's why a lot of the stuff we're getting now is pure garbage, because these writers don't know it. I'm talking about people today who are doing comics. They don't know it. All they know, and Eloise, we were discussing this before we went on, is they feel that what the person is, it should sell. Nothing else should matter except what the person is. Well,
yeah, they're too caught up in selling lifestyle instead of selling the product itself.
Yes,
not to mention there's the standards. Standards like within entertainment as well as in like some aspects of economics, such as like marketing. Like they've lowered in such a level. It makes one. It would surprise like even seasoned like people, like individuals like within the business, like who have been in marketing or advertising for such a long time. So I mean, it will really take them aback. When some of the people like are how they conduct themselves in marketing not only themselves but also their works, or it's like they're pulling like every mistake where they're told not to do in every facet of marketing, including advertising.
It's true. Why do you think, for all the years, they're not as good as they used to be, but why do you think studios put out movie trailers? A trailer. Why do you think they're not as
To
good?
generate interest.
Mhm.
Right.
And to
There
sell,
used to be mini
sell people.
trailers, and then there used to be trailers.
Is to sell
The
is to
main
sell
trailers
people
are
on the upcoming product, whether it's a movie or a TV show or even for books and video games. But the trailers act as a pitch for either the creator or the studio. The caveat is you don't want to
You wanna
give too
know?
much away.
Not to cut into you, Dominic. Do you want to know the measure of how much money Hollywood had in the midsection of the double digits? You could not look left or right without seeing multiple, at least like 4 or 5 trailers to the same damn movie that's being hyped up. Think about that. Or even TV spots, small clips, even. Especially when it came down to the Marvel Universe of its heyday. You know how many times we had a freaking Doctor Strange trailer or a teaser every what 2-3 weeks? Or how about the Wonder Woman trailer? Remember how many times they advertised the shit out of her?
So are you saying one trailer is it? I know now they have a teaser. What did they do? 3? You have a teaser, then a follow up to the teaser, and then a full trailer. And I think back in the day they didn't used to do that. Am I wrong or am I right? Or do you
No, you're
feel
wrong.
one?
No,
They didn't used to
back-
do that.
No, they didn't. Because back then, like you would have
Nowadays,
you have the teaser, and the trailer.
Yeah, nowadays
back-
they do leaks, like quote unquote leaks, when it's really just them purposely leaking the information to test the waters. It's why like I really didn't think they were gonna go through with the new Ariel live action thing, the Little Mermaid thing. But I remember before that, earlier on, there was like a leak, or someone said something about rumors about an Ariel live action, like a Little Mermaid live action, and there was some backlash, so it was dropped. But apparently now they're like doubling down, so they didn't take the audience backlash into consideration.
I'll go back to the 90s real quick. What you're saying is true, Eloise, but let me give you a brief history on how the 90s trailers used to be, or at least how 90s used to advertise the movies back in the days. Remember this? In the 90s, the movie was coming out the next year.
I
Y'all
remember.
that, right?
I do.
This was a, like, say for instance you had a movie come out next year, at the very least next year. That teaser trailer was all you had for that particular year when they advertised that movie. When the movie, when the next year came about, that's where the trailer came in, the full trailer. Or sometimes somewhere around later in the year, that's when you get that trailer, and it tells you the year is coming out, and then it's like now you're excited because you gotta wait next year for that. Hell, they were all too often like they showcase TV spots once the movie was fast approaching. Y'all remember that?
I remember that. Yeah,
I do.
I do. I remember. I'm trying to think of an example. I think, for example, for me would be Raimi's Spider-Man. When for Raimi's Spider-Man, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did the teaser come out the year before the movie came out? Because I don't remember a full trailer until there was a teaser.
Yeah, there was a teaser.
Then
9/11 happened.
Yeah, 9/11 happened. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though.
Damn.
That was that was perfect timing for Spider-Man. That's why Raimi's Spider-Man was such a box office smash. I know it's weird, but when 9/11 happened, and we know they had to tweak the trailer because the teaser had the 2 towers with him doing that giant
They
web.
didn't tweak it. They omit that
Yeah.
teaser, and they came out. They already had the full trailer ready.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't see the teaser no more.
which was sad because that teaser was beautiful. Because what I loved about it is that it didn't have to say anything. Everybody in the audience knew when they saw that giant web who this was about, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good."
Mhm.
And then it didn't have to tell us 'cause we
Thankfully, you can still
already
see it
knew.
on YouTube. They didn't pull it from YouTube.
Yeah, I go back and look at. Yeah, that's why I'm sad and I let it happen because that was a good example of a beautiful teaser because I don't think there was too much dialogue in that. Like I said, all you needed was that image of that web, and that was it. Everybody knew what
No,
that was.
you got Spider-Man afterwards too. Once you saw the web too.
Yeah, and
I
then you
I remember
go ahead, Dominic.
I remember back in elementary school, well, when I saw the teaser trailer for Scooby Doo new in 2002, I was excited. Excited because like out of all this time of like watching like watching like the Scooby Doo animated movies, but see him and the Scooby Gang like in the on the big screen like it brought a smile to like it's possible to everyone's faces. Because whether like they've been with Scooby Doo for a while like from the beginning or through reruns. Reruns like they want to like give it a shot and see like what Scooby and the others will look like. All grown up, and what would happen like if they split due to and during like a case which would turn out to be the last one.
Right, exactly. I'm just going to back to Spider-Man, and then we'll get back to your point, Dominic, because I can think the same way too when I first to Superman. See, what happened was what I love that Sony did. I'm glad Sony didn't hold the film after 9/11, that they released it when they said they were going to release it, because that was the right film at the right time. We needed a kick. We needed a boost. We needed to have hope again. And that movie did it for us. And then when the
Want to
full
hear
trailer,
another disaster?
go ahead.
When The Dark Knight Rises was announced, and that shootout happened.
Oh yeah, I remember.
But I still remember
Go ahead.
the teaser where Bane was approaching Batman, and you hear the chant in the background.
I remember that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Man, the hype was strong in that one.
Really was. Yeah. Oh
I was
my
like,
goodness.
oh shit, he gonna deal with Bane now.
Exactly. That's why and it worked because you're right. The hype for that film, because I said the same thing. I'm like, oh, this gonna be good. This is gonna this is gonna be good.
It's one of the
But
most polarizing of the Nolan trilogy, but you know what? I still love it.
what, The Dark Knight Rises?
Hmm.
Or the trailer or the teaser or
Or the movie.
okay. Oh, it's true. The point is what I'm trying to make. That's why I asked about now. And I forgot the question I was going to ask you guys. I was going to say that should they go back to one teaser and one trailer that does all and not give I was going to ask always about leaks. Are leaks helping?
Yes.
You think
Mhm.
leaks are they helping?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, in fact, it's more like it's infuriating people because when they advertise, they're not really advertising for entertainment's sake. They're more advertising for the message.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree with you 100%. And then I think, well, like I asked, should we go back to one teaser? Now, when I mean this, I mean the teaser comes out a year before the film, and then the full trailer comes out the year of the film. Because I think too many teaser 1, teaser 2, teaser 3 is showing too much. I think they're showing too much. The trailer is supposed to get you hungry and excited. Am I correct?
With this current climate, when we can make the movies as fast as we can, churning them out at the very least, the trailers can come months apart away from the movie itself now. But the teaser should at least be a year apart from the actual trailer for the year that comes up. It should be that method, and it's a tried and true method. Godzilla, the '98 version was definitely the prime example of that. When that foot came down and crushed that T-Rex, that's all that we had so far.
Did it work? Did it get you excited?
Oh hell yeah!
Okay, let's continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I didn't even know it was a Godzilla I was gonna get. I didn't even know that Godzilla was getting made in America at this point. But damn it, at that point, I had seen Godzilla King of the Monsters, the original chopped up version of Gojira. I'm trying to remember what movies I've seen thus far. Godzilla versus Mothra, Terror of Mechagodzilla, Son of Godzilla. I think those were the ones I only saw so far. Oh, then there was the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoon.
Yeah, I remember that.
So my inner fan was already cemented. So when that came about, oh my goodness, they were marketing the hell out of this movie. The bus, billboards, the signs on the buses on the bus stops and everything. You had Godzilla's eye, only just that. You had size does matter. Even Taco Bell was advertising.
Yeah.
The hell, man,
Yeah, it was.
like you want a movie that was advertised to holy hell? Godzilla 1998 was.
Mhm.
Fast forward to 2014, or at least around 2013, actually, and they announced that they were going to do another American Godzilla. And the only thing we had to go by for that one was posters mostly. And then there was that one teaser where I'm trying to remember. It didn't really show too much. It only showed people running around mostly because they advertised the movie as taken from the point of the human eye. So you had that going on. I don't know if you guys ever seen the teaser for that one.
Yeah, I remember the teaser for. Yeah, I remember it.
And then when we got to close to 2014, that's where we got the trailer where, once again, it didn't really show too much, but it definitely showed what Godzilla was going to look like.
And that got me excited.
I was
That's when
about
he did the iconic roar.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was about to ask. Did it work?
It worked. It definitely worked. Where he does his little low growl first, and then he does his roar. I was like, oh shit. Of course, they showed the Muto diving into the sea, and I originally thought that was Rodan. I was like, is that Rodan? Are we gonna get Rodan in this movie? Boy, was I wrong. But I was so glad to be wrong because we got Rodan in the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And oh boy, that's another thing that killed me was the when we got to King of the Monsters. That's where that shit got wild. The advertising for King of the Monsters, that shit got wild. Too many fucking trailers. Too many.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
too many TV spots.
Yeah. Like in the back of my head, I was thinking, you guys need
Okay,
to go.
I'm gonna watch the
You
fucking
guys
movie. I
need to
get
go
it.
back to. You guys need to go back with how you were marketing this new Godzilla series back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're doing is ruining the element of surprise.
Mm-hmm. I was going there for the monsters, of course, and I was going there for the human element as well. So I was hoping this. I got what I wanted out of that movie. Same thing with the first movie. I seriously still to this day don't understand what people's issue was with that first movie, because it was Godzilla. It was all about Godzilla throughout that whole movie. Even the little that we saw of Godzilla was enough. Plus, that movie's playing on the safe side. We already seen what happened when we saw too much of Godzilla from the last movie that we did with him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Could you fault Gareth Andrews for playing it safe? Could you really fault that man?
No, you can't.
And then we get to Kingdom Hearts. Oh, they're showing the monsters too much. I'm like, okay.
Well, see, here's the thing, and I totally agree with you what you're saying, Wolf. There were too many tease trailers that what it does, it kills the excitement. It kills the momentum because you've seen the trailer so many times. It kind
They
of
did that
doesn't.
with Mad Max Fury Road too, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't get you as hyped to go see the movie. Whereas you saw one trailer and one main trailer only, you're like, oh, like you said, oh, I'm gonna set a date and camp outside the box office for this. Used to be like that back in the day. Used to be Return of the Jedi actually had people camping outside because with Return of the Jedi, we had to wait like 4 years between Empire Strikes Back. We had nothing. No pictures, no advertisements, no screen. There was nothing, nada. We didn't know what this movie was going to look like or how we're going to see it.
The only film trilogy that was actually spared that curse was the Planet of the Apes new trilogy.
How many
Funny
trailers?
enough.
How many trailers did they run?
So Rise had at least 1 or 2. Dawn had at least 3. What's the last one called again? War was at least 2.
You see, I think 3 is too many. I think we should go back
That's
to
assuming you saw the 3rd trailer. That's only assuming that you saw the 3rd trailer.
But did you need to see the 3rd trailer? The first
you
2
didn't.
told you. Yeah,
Of course you didn't.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I'm saying is the problem. The art of trailers is dying. I think you only need 2. You need, just like you said, you need the teaser, and that should be the year before the film comes out. Now you're getting hungry, and then you have the trailer, and that's all you need. But you just need to show enough to get you excited. You don't need any more than that. 3 is too many. Too many
favorite trailers.
Yeah. I'm thinking about my favorite trailers. 3 is all you need. For I have to show it to you guys. You probably see it. I know for Winter Soldier there was a trailer. I don't know why it wasn't showed here in America. I have to look for them.
I didn't say get started on it.
No, I was. I wasn't.
I said one of these days we're gonna do it. I didn't say we doing it right now.
I was just using this as an example. They just showed the shield, and that was they just showed a freeway and Bucky walking, and he picks up the shield, and that was it, and the date. And everybody in the audience knew exactly what it was. That's all they did, and just the date. That was it.
For me, it was the first trailer where he catches the shield.
Yeah, that's the one they showed in in America. Yeah, and I actually like that trailer because people said that's all they needed. They knew exactly what this one was going to be about, and so that's what I'm saying.
It was really good too.
Yeah. They see what made that trailer good was that's a good example of packing. You've got to pack. You've got to be able to catch the audience attention in how many seconds, how many minutes is a teaser? 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes. How many?
They're running 3 minutes this time around. I'm like, what the hell are you doing with that extra minute?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Teaser trailers used to be up to a minute.
Mm-hmm.
A teaser should really you're right. It should be up to a minute, no more.
I remember Terminator 3 when that shit got announced. I was in the theater. I forgot what movie I was going to see that shit on. I think it was the first Iron Man movie actually. No, it wasn't the first Iron Man movie. When did Terminator 3 come out?
I forgot I forgot the year that it came out.
But
I think the
man, school, you picked a perfect day to not be here.
The teaser should be a minute, and I think the full
2003. So what came out in 2003?
I'm trying to think. Does it list top movies of 2003?
I have to look it up.
Yeah, but see, did the trailer for Terminator 3 win you over? It didn't.
The teaser had me excited.
Okay.
Let's see. That's direct to video. Too Fast, Too Furious. I didn't see that one.
While you're looking, a teaser trailer in that 1 minute, you got to pack a lot in, but just enough to get you excited. Your full trailer should be what, 3 minutes? 5 minutes, I know it's too long. That's almost like playing the first 10 minutes of a movie. It should be, and then now Now what they do, guys, is now it seems the Super Bowl seems to be the spot for all trailers. Like the trailers are going to be during the Super Bowl. They run so many movie trailers during the Super Bowl. Even for streaming shows, we're going to run the trailer during the Super Bowl.
Damn sure did not see the pianist in that around that time. Oh wait, no. What am I? I'm fucking up. 2002. What came out in 2002 to make for it to pop up on that unexpectedly? Because it came out to 2003.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure I was watching some. I was there in the movie theater to watch something, and then the T3 showed up. Just a T and a 3, but it was done in liquid metal, and you hear the Terminator theme song playing in the background. I was like, oh shit, they're coming out with Terminator 3 after all these years.
Yeah, that's what I said. It didn't win me over. The only thing I thought, you know what I thought? I thought the T1000, the one that made of liquid metal, was coming back or something. I really didn't know what the plot was. I thought he destroyed that guy. That's what I thought.
It wasn't Resident Evil because I saw that on bootleg. It wasn't Drumline. I saw that on bootleg too.
When I saw the teaser for Rise of the Machines, it got me curious on how will they continue after the events of Judgment Day, because it told a complete story.
Funny enough,
Dominic, that's how I felt. I felt nothing could top T2 because it was everything.
It didn't even say Rise of the Machine. It just said T3 coming soon.
Yeah, but I reacted different. I reacted like Dominic. I felt, what could be any better than T2? Because like you said, it was a complete story, but it just...
I was young. I was excited. I was young at the time. I was excited. I love Terminator.
Mm-hmm. No, I thought T2 was a masterpiece. So I said
we were watching a
else.
kids movie at that time. Oh, wait a minute.
Guys, are we supposed to be talking about marketing?
We are.
We are still talking about marketing, but we're talking about like how marketing and advertising was done well back then.
Eloise, movie trailers are a part of marketing. Do you know every step that goes into promoting a motion picture? Nope. You know how much money they spend?
I don't.
Do you know that? Do you know now?
It's because I've never really had an interest in movies. Like growing up, I couldn't really afford to like visit the movies, but I did watch like runs, on TV, like on the cable channels when they air movies on TV.
I think I remember.
You remember now?
I think it probably was X2.
Oh, okay. You were in X2.
Oh man.
Yeah, you were in X2. Okay. Now
they get advertised when I went with my grandpa and my one of my uncles to see X2.
And that's where you saw the teaser for T3.
Probably.
Yeah. I was just
feeling or something else. I can't for life of me remember. But
I remember, and real quick, Dominic, I remember coming out of the Hunt for Red October, and they advertised the re-releasement of the original Star Wars, and I almost did a backflip in the movie theater. I was coming out of it. It was a good film. I walked past big old sign, coming, it's returning back to the galaxy, something like that. Come back to the Force or something. I'm like, no, they not. I didn't know about it until I saw it. No, they not. They're re-releasing Star Wars Empire and Return of the Jedi in theaters. Oh, I am there. I forgot all about Hunt for Red October because I was so excited. This Star Wars was coming back to theater, but they had a big sign saying coming back. I thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. But like, that worked. What else would I let Eloise know that teaser trailers are part of marketing a motion picture? Nowadays, guys, the budget for marketing a film is gargantuan. That's why I think they need to simplify the marketing of a film, TV show, streaming show, whatever it is that you're trying to get out there. They need to find a simple way of getting that message across in a few seconds and only two trailers. 2 trailers should be able to tell you everything that you need to know. You got to do 3 trailers. I think that's one reason why box office tickets have declined is because I think they're overdoing it. I really think you got to make people hungry for it and curious about it. The Crow was another example because the trailer was very simple. Even though we all knew the lead actor had passed away, the Crow's trailer was a good trailer. I like the song that was used and how they kept it very simple. But I was like, I still want to see this. Even though I know the leading man is not there, I still want to see this. And it worked. They did just enough. They didn't play it depressing or sad. They played it like, you should still come see his work, despite what we all knew. And it's funny because
Bad Robot Productions.
For what? For T2? T3?
No, Bad Robot Productions has always been on a roll with their teasers and their trailers. Remember Cloverfield?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
There was a lot of advertisement of hiding the monster and keeping the monster a secret. The same thing with 10 Cloverfield Lane, and even the Cloverfield Paradox. Even though we were at this point, we were kind of getting sick and tired of J.J. Abrams. Hell, Super 8 followed that same mode. The first time you saw the teaser was a train running wild, and then suddenly it derails itself and crashes, and then you see a latch popping up, but you don't see what comes out of that box. Fucking JJ with his mystery box storytelling. That's why I nicknamed him Mr. Mystery Box.
The point is, whatever you are marketing, even if it's yourself or story, you have to think of it like a movie trailer. You have to think of, how can I catch people's attention in 60 seconds? How can I catch your attention in 2 minutes? How much do I need
to selling a product, actually, real quick.
Okay, but I think the
more
same
so than a movie. I'm talking about product. Period. When you're being an entrepreneur, how do you market hats?
Well, you have to think, but that's what I'm saying. Think of it like a trailer. You're not advertising a movie, you're advertising in hats, but using that ideology of a trailer. Like if I'm advertising a hat, I would want to make it sexy. I would want to show that it's for everyone and every lifestyle. Maybe I'll have a montage of a model that is casually dressed and he or she is hanging out with their friends or their buddies. Or then I'll switch to a montage of maybe they're at a dinner, on a date, or maybe I'll jump to a montage of a holiday. And I would say for the everyday person, there's some slick slogan to catch their attention. So I would think of it like that, because a hat can be worn for everyday occasions. You want to show that it's not just for a bad hair day or just for a rainy day, but it's for every occasion and every person and every mood. But I got to keep it lively enough and fast enough so that it will get the attention and that will reach out to you. So am I advertising my hats to, is it males, is it females, is it unisex? If it's a female, it would want to be, well, if let's say if I'm doing a hat for a female, I want to show every occasion. I want to show that you could just be walking your dog in the park. And then I could have an occasion where you're out on a date with your favorite guy. Or I can have an occasion where maybe you're running home in the rain, but I got to make that rain look sexy. I got to make that rain look like, yeah, it's raining, but I still look good in this hat. And that's how I would.
And I think that's what's missing a lot of days now. Like for entertainment advertisement, they're afraid of making who the target audience is obvious. They're afraid of having a target audience because they don't want to accept the reality that men and women have different interests. And sometimes interests can overlap depending on the product, if it has like qualities that both men and women are interested in. But most of the time, men and women have specific interests, that things they want to see. Like you don't see a guy watching chick flicks,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
and a lot of women probably won't show up to like a movie where the women are, action movies where
Right. They don't want to come.
that revolve around women, because they want to see the beefcake, they want to see the guy, the
Right.
muscled guy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You make a very good point, Eloise. Exactly. They do not want to accept men and women are different. They're too scared to accept that
Well, back
because
then, back then, like people like accepted that difference, and nobody,
Mhm.
and didn't make a big deal out of it.
Right. You're right, Dominic. Back in the day, differences between men and women was fine. The advertisers would sit down and know that if I'm going to do a commercial for pantyhose, my target audience is going to be women because they want their legs to look good in their dresses and their skirts. Where else with men, I may advertise maybe a car or a certain vehicle or maybe a certain line of clothing that pertains to them. It's very masculine. But
I think they want to think that like their worldview revolves around the exception becoming the norm, when that's not the case. Things are exceptions because they're not that common in occurrence.
that's why we don't have that's why the art of advertising isn't good anymore.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a memorable TV commercial I've seen in the past 10 years. And I'm having a hard time coming up with one, but I can shoot plenty from my childhood.
Oh, here's one.
Mhm.
Heroes.
Who?
That's a TV show, Heroes.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Heroes. Do you mean the marketing of Heroes or?
Oh yeah, the marketing for it.
Yeah, I will admit it was a good marketing. That was a good marketing campaign because nobody knew. I didn't know what that show was talking about. So that's a good one for a TV show. Let me see for a TV show. Hero. Bleh, I can't think right now.
That's what.
You know what? The
It's like
Walking. I know you don't watch it, but The Walking Dead.
Crank, or even Walking Dead.
Yeah. Walking Dead had the great advertisement for the first season. That one did work because what they did is they didn't show the walkers. They created, what they did? They created a mood. They created a mood that those that read the comic knew they were there, but I don't think, Dominic, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I don't think they showed the walkers. They just showed the mood of, they knew, Rick is looking at something or shooting at something, but that's all they needed because there were people who already knew what the story was. But even for me, who never read the graphic novel, I knew, okay, that's I got to catch this. It's something about this that works, and that's what I liked about it. And they showed, I know the year that was supposed to come out, I think it was 2012 at Comic-Con. They just showed images. They didn't show too much. And I think one of the advertisements was Rick in the hospital and the zombies were behind the door. They didn't just show you the door. They just showed him walking towards it. And I thought, that's beautiful. That's a good way to advertise. But if, like you said, if you're marketing a product, like Wolf said, you have to know who your target audience is. Is it a family? Are you targeting families? We see advertisements all the time about going on a vacation to an amusement park, a certain type of car for a certain type of family. A single man and a single woman are not going to drive the same type of car a married couple with kids is going to drive. So there's another way you have to look at.
Well, to give you more sauce than to give you meat? Well, bring your big ass down to Bruh's Barbecue, 15837 South Crenshaw Boulevard. That's right off Manchester. Bruh's Barbecue tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama. Don't it, Willie?
Yeah, boy. Hey, mama.
What the hell you want, Willie? Ain't but one location, so it's me and you.
Damn. Damn, that was intense.
Oh,
man.
Shit,
You know what?
Elroy even broke character in that instant too. I said that movie so many times. I didn't even notice that he outright broke character when he did when John Witherspoon slapped that woman. And when she fell, he literally broke character. He just broke character for a split second and got back into character.
You know what? I would go there and buy that barbecue.
Same. I would just visit out of curiosity.
I'm gonna go down there and eat that barbecue. That's the kind of barbecue I would like.
They barely even had barbecue ribs ready. They barely even had. They didn't even have a full staff. It was just them.
But you know,
I mean, they had it all cooked up ready, and it was all there. But the thing is that it's like when you go there, it's desolate.
Final's like, what the hell just happened in the chat? Final, it's the magic of advertising.
Get your ass in here.
Final, where I.
You know what? Never mind. We're gonna be getting close to wrapping it up, anyways.
Yeah, because I have to go. Like my parents are already like banging on the walls because I was loud.
I would go to that place. I'm sorry. I'm like, that is a place where I want to get my barbecue from. Just like that guy said. I worked. I'm sorry. It's sad that I'm won over by a man who slapped his mama. Slapped his mom over barbecue, but I would eat there. I would go there the next day. I said, I gotta try that barbecue.
I just remember back in the days, if you want to talk video games too, the N64 days, as I like to call it, I remember this one commercial that advertised battle tanks.
I'll be in the chat. Have to go.
Take care. Baron or sign out.
See you later.
It's been nice knowing you guys. See you around for next stream.
Mm-hmm. There was this one commercial. Hang on. Ah, yes, this is the one. I'm going to download and upload. Give it a sec. Man, my laptop's on the roll, despite it being 4 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the lifespan of a laptop?
Is it 5 years? Because I knew after 5 years I had to get a new one. I'm like, these things don't last long, do they? Then they start to, they're okay, and then about the 5th year they start to get all funky.
Well, that's low. No, I just remember how ridiculous 64 commercials used to be. Like there was one where there was these 4 guys singing about Christmas. Jingle bells, Santa smells, Christmas really stuck. Wait. Jingle bells, Santa smells, Christmas really suck. All I want, Mom and Dad, is N64. Sales great, Road Squad is cool. WCW versus NWO, revenge should be mine.
I think I remember that commercial.
I remember that one.
Yeah, I think
that shit had me cracking up. They had 2 versions, and what was funny about those commercials is that they had 2 versions of those commercials too. So sometimes, the second time they had different, different game. Like they still start off with Zelda because Zelda Ocarina of Time had already came out during that year. But like they substitute Rogue Squadron for another game. I forgot what game it was. And then they go back to they still bring up another wrestling game, which was freaking hilarious. That was when WWE was still banging, or at least WCW was the dominant show in the wrestling entertainment. Fond memories of that time. Fond memories. Back when China was alive. Rest her soul. Back when Triple H was kind of like growing to be my favorite. And that's when the Rock made his debut in a bit. I think. Yeah, actually, yeah. Around that time, the Rock had made his debut somewhere around late 90s. He had that Elvis look going on.
I remember.
I remember that
Christian
too.
Jericho even.
Yes, very remember that. That was the golden age.
Yeah, that's when Chris Jericho even made his debut, and of course they had to put him against The Rock. And that's when Chris Jericho had that flamboyant long hair. He had that flamboyantness too, and it's like, first of all, who are you? Well, it doesn't matter who you are. Me and my brother was busting out a laugh when that happened. Here's the Valentine's commercial real quick.
For the brightest colors always. What the? Uh-oh.
Introducing Battle Tanks for Nintendo 64. Explosive tank action for up to 4 players.
Battle tanks.
I remember that commercial.
I remember it being in the magazine. I remember seeing that in the game magazine. And every time they advertised Battle Tanks, the art for the advertisement of the Battle Tanks, every single time it was like a sappy well, actually one time it was in one of the books it was the Wizard of Oz. and in the background Emerald City was totally just destroyed. And you got Dorothy and her company just running across the yellow brick road with a tank right behind them.
Oh, I never saw that.
Dorothy loses a shoe like she's Cinderella. By the way, sometimes she has silver slippers, sometimes she had ruby. Scarecrow was on fire. The Cowardly Lion was coated in soot. I think Tin Man had dents in them. Yeah, I think he had dents in them. That shit was hilarious. Even though I love the Wizard of Oz. But what really got me was the Teletubbies. They got the Teletubbies. And they were parodies of, mind you, they weren't really the Teletubbies, but they were the parodies of the Teletubbies.
Yeah,
One was in the process of getting run over by the tank treads. One had a hole in his stomach that you could see through. One had his ear blown off. And he was on and one was on fire as well. That shit was even funnier.
The Teletubby
had me cracking up.
The one you just showed with the little snuggle bear, I remember that very clearly.
Oh yeah,
and I did think that was funny. The Teletubbies one, I don't
it's
think
even
I saw.
funnier when you see the Battle Tanks 2 commercial, because he comes back, and and what they do is they do a complete parody of the $6 Million Man. So like they pretty much have him on a bed. They repair him. So he goes through all this training and stuff. Like we made him faster, stronger, harder, smarter, and then suddenly a tank runs his ass over.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, Snuggles never catch a fucking break.
No, but it was Snuggles. Yeah.
I'll link you the second one trailer, the second commercial, or rather the Battle Tanks 2 commercial. That shit was
okay.
I was like, oh my god, that shit was fucking hilarious. I was like, man, Nintendo America had great ways of advertising fucking games back then. Like,
yeah.
If you actually went to the Japan version of the commercials, my goodness, their shit was weird too. But man, oh man, when it came down to us, like sometimes like if they advertise a board game, sometimes they'll do that shit in what looks like a post-apocalypse setting. Crossfire. Anybody heard of Crossfire? Anybody remember Crossfire? Crossfire.
That's a game.
It was a board game.
I actually do remember that.
Hell, Mousetrap.
Mousetrap?
Yeah.
Yeah, really I remember that. That's one of my favorite games.
Before they updated, they updated long time ago, but they had an original Mousetrap commercial too.
I remember that.
No,
Same here.
No, not the movie.
The game. Yeah, I do remember the game.
Board game.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then the up to date version came out. I was like, it doesn't hit the same as the original. I'm sorry. Remember, I still remember the Chuck E. Cheese commercials.
Some of them I do remember.
Especially when they had them going extreme. Even Snoopy with Knott's Berry Farm, they had to go. They took every mascot for anything. They extremed them up. So you'd be hard pressed to find any mascot wearing summer shorts, riding a bike, a BMX bike. You know, playing basketball.
Yeah.
Even the Flintstones went extreme one time. Like the Fruity Pebbles commercial one time. They went skydiving. and for freaking oh, I can't, Barney to save Fred's life because Fred's parachute had failed. Like the only way for Barney to save Fred's life was that Fred gives him his Fruity Pebbles.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like seriously, Barney, your friend is about to die, and all you care about is this fucking cereal. So like looking back at that, that's dark, unfortunate implications in that commercial. I'm like damn, like people can bitch about the damn smoking ad that they did. I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't never seen Barney trying to fucking bribe Fred for his life.
Oh goodness, that really traumatized you, didn't it?
In a near skydiving accident. Freaking Fred almost had a skydiving accident where he could have possibly died, but only incentive Barney needs to save his own fucking friend. Besides the fact that that's his friend and work buddy. Yeah, explain that shit when you go back to work, motherfucker. But no, he needs an incentive to save his own boy. And even when he tries to save him, they get into a bigger pickle. Here's the commercial.
Hey, give that back!
Mouse trouble? Then you need Mousetrap. Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. The first to capture everyone else's mouse is the winner. Just turn the crank and snap the blank and boot the marble right down the chute. Now watch it roll and hit the pole and knock the ball in the rubber duck tub, which puts the man into the pan. The trap is set. Here comes the net. Ouch! Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. I knew you were a winner. Mousetrap from Milton Bradley.
Was that for the new Mousetrap or the old? That was the older.
That's the old one. That's the old one. Did anybody ever attempt to beat that game?
I played it a few times. It was fun. I won a few times.
That's a contraption in itself. But my thing is that when James Rolfe did Boris James Mousetrap, the question was, did anybody ever attempted to beat that game instead of just playing with the trap mostly?
Let me think. I won that game a few times.
I still remember having Shark Attack.
You had what attack?
Shark Attack.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
That electronic shark that moves around in a circle. You got freaking roll the die to make your fish move forward. How the hell anybody play that game for the life of me? Because that thing's perpetually moving. You gotta roll the die and move up some spaces to get away from that shark.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we had hungry hippos, and of course, who could forget Connect 4?
Oh, Connect 4, a classic game. Connect 4 separated the men from the mice. Connect 4 was a deal breaker in my house for chores or money or siblings.
Trouble.
Yes, siblings would.
It's fun getting into trouble.
Sorry.
I'm reminiscing about. I'm so hungry. I'm reminiscing about board games.
Connect Four was called sibling rivalries in my house. It's like, I know I can beat you at this.
My niece always wanted to beat me in Connect Four when she was a baby.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, she never really cared about really. She didn't start getting into competition when she got at least around 5 or 6. I think around that 4 or 5. That's when she started really wanted to get into competition with me. But at that time, she just wanted to fill in the whole all the circles and stuff. She's like, I want to play Connect Four. You want to play Connect Four? Yeah. Okay. Get ready and just start playing. She's like, how you win? I was like, you can't just keep just trying to fill up every. That's not how you play the game. You don't fill up every spot. You gotta Connect Four. You see what I'm doing?
Yeah, that was
I doubt she's interested in playing Connect Four now.
Probably not, but back then when we were kids, it was a deal breaker.
Remember you used to try. Do you remember you try to always try to beat me in Connect Four?
Well, like I said, that was sibling rivalry in my house with Connect Four. That was like the Olympics of family members. And then I would learn my sister, I would learn her pattern. I said, there's a pattern.
Chess set. Nobody wasn't smart enough to play chess with me.
Oh.
I'm not saying it's an insult either. I'm saying as people in my house did not know how that damn game worked. Yeah, I the one who did. And nobody was patient enough to learn as I was trying to teach them.
Oh, that's too bad you didn't have a chess club or something you could go to show off your skills with.
But they could never, for the life of them, play chess. I'm looking at them like, Used to play checkers at the daycare center I used to go to after school.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also those ones that was far too damn complicated because you needed certain things for them, like Thin Ice. I think Thin Ice had water involved. I'm not sure. Guess Who? Can you guess who? Board game.
Well, I know you had Pictionary.
I hated Monopoly. I couldn't stand Monopoly.
You didn't like Monopoly? It was a staple in my house. That was a staple in my house.
I played Monopoly on Super Nintendo. And that's the only enjoyment I ever got out of Monopoly. But the board game itself, I could not stand people. In fact, I couldn't even stand watching people play Monopoly. I was watching Higher Learn one time when I was a teenager. Not teenager. No, I was an adult now. I was in college. I was watching Higher Learn, and I was playing Monopoly. I glared at the screen.
Oh.
Like, what you two Negroes playing the Monopoly for? In college.
Well,
got Ice Cube and Omar S playing Monopoly.
Well, that's
y'all ain't know shit about economics. Y'all ain't even in there for economics.
Well,
yeah, y'all playing fucking Monopoly.
They learned.
I guess because man, Negro said you gotta buy some property or else you in trouble. Like Negro, you ain't got shit on that damn board.
That's the way it was played in my house, and me and my friends.
It don't even look like you doing much on that damn board. Y'all ain't playing no real Monopoly. Y'all just acting. I don't know why the fucking director put Monopoly in there in the first place. Should be playing some damn checkers. Self-explanatory, right, motherfucking there. Play like you playing some damn checkers. You need to play no damn one. You had the nerve to put Monopoly in that damn movie. What the hell wrong with y'all? Look. He's the same director that did Baby Boy. Look, much respect to that man for doing Boys in the Hood as well. But damn it, you gonna use Monopoly as a way to explain economics in a racial
What, in the film? In the movie?
It's a word I'm looking for, and I'm too hungry to even blurt it out. I guess I should end it right now.
Yeah, so you can put something in your stomach, so you can eat.
I'm just gonna get a snack. I already ate dinner. Anyways,
okay.
I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Those 1, 2, 3 of you, and those nicest motherfuckers that kept popping in and out. Hey, Final for joining us as well. Thank you, Bear of the North, Eloise Dwallow for being here and being confused most of the time. Thank you, Helen Saldana, for speaking very little.
Oh.
The Hound of the South. I'm like cow. What'd you say?
Wow, man, that's hurtful.
Yeah.
This was mostly Eloise's stream. For the most part. I barely weighed in on anything. Today was a good day, all things considered. Today was a good thing. I'm just kidding.
Well,
it did contribute to the stream. It's more, really, it was ladies' night tonight.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. What? It was, but we were still like, well, it was like we were equal opportunity, and we were able to each, like give our own, give our own opinions, but also like different solutions and contributions to the discussion. Since our topic it involved marketing.
It was nice to also get Leia away from talking about the woke.
Well, I'm flexible.
I love it about Leia plus side.
He had to get one into every two, Dominic. Good evening, everyone. This is Leia plus size, your lovely Lady of Valor. And thank you for those joining us for this topic about marketing. If you have a topic that, okay, you're all right. Okay, yeah. You had to throw that in there, didn't you? Now, I'm going to continue. If you have a topic that you want us to discuss about or rant about us up here, you know how we are. Please leave it in the comments below. I am sure Wolf will very much appreciate that. We're open to all ideas and discussion. So you all have a good evening. We'll see you next time. Now you sit there and talk about you talk about me, and then you had to throw that at the end.
Gillette. Relax, just do it. You know, relax, just do it.
At the end.
Just remember, guys, when it comes down to marketing, think about whatever product that you want to put out there. Think about what you want to do. Think about what you want to show. Think about what you want to draw your viewers' eyes or your potential customers' eyes. But above all else, what we always preach is, again, confidence. If you have confidence in your product, you should be able to know how to market it. You should be able to know how to advertise it. You should be able to know what draws the eye. Anyways, this being Wolf Tam. Thank you for showing up. And remember, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.
See you all later.